Well, I'm saying for slow-mo.
Oh, for
right?
slow-mo, yeah.
So I don't think I want him slow-mo.
Oh, for
right?
slow-mo, yeah.
Like just his hand out here. It's like, oh, that looks kind of weird.
Welcome to Shadow Alley. On this channel, we talk about horror movies and silicone masks and other creepy things, so if you're into that sort of stuff, feel free to subscribe and stick around. All right, I don't want to waste a lot of your time, so I'm just going to hurry up and put all this stuff on so you can see it and take some kind of glamour shots. You can see how unbelievably amazing a costume can be when you actually spend a little bit of money on it. Most of us just go to Party City or some sort of Halloween store online and buy latex masks, but if you really want to spend a little bit of money to look unbelievably realistic, like an actual alien, then buying silicone is the way to go. And I'm gonna go put all this stuff on and show you the costume, but then make sure you watch to the end because we're gonna come back here and I'm gonna go through each one of these individual pieces that make up this costume, where I got it and exactly how much it cost, and we're gonna figure out how much this total costume cost me. It's a little crazy. And since this costume is so unbelievably believable and realistic, I was asked to be a part of a documentary that's coming up, and we're gonna talk about that quickly, and I'll show you exactly what I did for them. It's actually pretty amazing, so let's just get into it. Okay, so like I said, this looks so realistic because it is unlike most of the masks that you will find online. Most masks are made out of latex. This is a silicone mask and silicone gloves. So they move really well. You can actually see my face moving underneath. It fits really well around the lips, so it looks like your mouth is a part of the actual costume. If you are willing to spend a little bit of money on a costume, you can make it look amazing. So what do you guys think? Here it is kind of in bright light. So let's take a look at it with some more like horror sci-fi lighting as well. Unbelievably awesome, right? It's so realistic. If I walked up to your house trick-or-treating with this thing on, I bet your kids would run and hide. This thing is so amazingly realistic looking. I love it. Crazy cool, right? Well, let's break down the numbers starting with the cheapest things. So the least expensive things, just a regular old pair of boots from Amazon. And I tried to pick something that was a little bit more detailed and sci-fi-y. So just some pretty nondescript kind of sci-fi boots. And those were $24. So 25 bucks about. That's the cheapest part. Okay, the next cheapest part was the actual outfit. It's a two-piece outfit with a really cool metallic looking robe and then this overpiece that goes over top of it. And I had Dark Stitches costumes. They actually have a YouTube channel as well, and you can actually see them create this exact costume for me, and it cost me $300. So for $300, I have a one-of-a-kind costume that nobody else on the planet has. You can't buy this anywhere. I ordered it specifically through them, and it was custom made. So that is an additional $300. The next would be silicone gloves. Now again, if you go to a Halloween store and buy a set of gloves, they look really unrealistic and fake. Silicone fits like a wetsuit, and it actually is really tight on your skin so that it doesn't wrinkle and it doesn't buckle when you move it. It looks like real flesh, and that's what we have here. It is from a company called Composite Effects, or CFX, and this is their Demon silicone gloves, and this one is blue-gray. The Demon silicone gloves from CFX masks was $625 for the pair of gloves. Getting kind of expensive, right? But your only other option would be to wear like a pair of regular just black gloves, and that would still look okay, so you could get away with doing this costume without buying the silicone gloves. But for me, it just adds a ton of realism, and I love it. So that was an extra $625 bucks. And the most expensive part was the silicone mask itself, the piece de resistance. I don't know why I switched to French there, but the coolest, arguably the coolest part is the mask. If this doesn't look real, the whole thing goes to shit. It has to look crazy realistic, and in my opinion, this is probably the most realistic alien silicone mask that you can buy anywhere. It's amazing. I love it. It is from a company called Immortal Masks, and it was $675 for the mask. So let's add all of that up. I'm gonna pretend like I'm doing it in my head, but I'm actually doing it here. What was this? Let's say 25 bucks for the boots, 300 for the costume, the robe, 625 for the gloves, and 675 for the mask. So total was $1,625 or $1,625, which is pretty crazy. Most people probably spend $25 or $50 or maybe even $150 on their Halloween costumes, but I wanted to go big. I collect these silicone masks. So for me, it has to be crazy, awesome, realistic. So $1,625 to look like this. I think it's totally worth it. Now, since this does look so unbelievably cool, a company called Dockside Media got a hold of me and said that they were doing an alien documentary. It's called Conscious Contact Full Disclosure, and it is from a company called Dockside Media. So they asked me to come drive out to their location. It was about 4 hours away, and I brought pretty much this costume, just different gloves, and shot a whole bunch of B-roll for the documentary. So I think that's going to be amazing. It's really cool to actually take some of the things from my collection and use them in the real world in things like short films and in things like documentaries, this upcoming documentary. It should be out by the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year, but I'll link to it in the description. The more we can help these guys promote this, the more they're going to invite me back to do more, which is kind of what I want. So please go support them, support cool things being done with cool masks. And if you like this kind of content, do all those things you're supposed to do to help a channel grow, and I will see you in the next one.
The truth is out there, Adam. The truth is out there.